Thanks for tuning in to F as in Frank, hosted by Jack Scalfani. The video podcast is starting right now.
All right, so you used a term the other day that kind of blew me away. It's called Trump deranged syndrome.
Derangement.
Oh,
Derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Right.
What does that mean? Again.
So it's a term that people came up with to describe when people are irrationally, irrational about their hatred for Trump. Right? It's at a level of being unreasonable. You could be completely logical in all of your thinking and completely rational, but it's irrational. It's purely emotional, and it's almost to the level of like the way people would just say, oh, like a Nazi, like, oh, he's a Nazi, right, or whatever. I'm not saying people are saying Trump's a Nazi, but you know how people just go to the extreme, and that's what they would be. You could be sitting down having a completely logical conversation with somebody, and then you bring up Trump, and then they lose their shit, right? They go off the rails. So yeah,
We've seen that by a lot of people.
A ton of people have had that.
They literally would rather go down with the ship, watch America be destroyed, than vote for that man.
Because they don't. I don't know why. Actually, I mean, I don't like Trump.
It's like they're blind; they can't see.
I'm not a fan of Trump. I think he's arrogant. He's, I think he's petty. There are a lot of attributes of Trump that I don't like. So like I'll say I didn't vote for him the first time, and but if you look at how the country was run, it wasn't run half bad. It wasn't run great either. So where Trump really failed in my mind as a president was he wasn't very presidential when the pandemic hit. Right? That you need one of two things. You need or both actually. You need to be able to tell people it's going to be okay, we'll be fine, which he did, but he dismissed it completely. And then you have to say, okay, and this is what we're doing about it. So you have to tell people we're going to be fine, right? But we're doing everything we can to protect you and your loved ones from this virus. And here's the things that we're doing. Boom, 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 boom. And he just didn't handle that aspect of being presidential, right? He was more, at least I think, more on the business side. Because he is a businessman. He
right.
dealt with China well. I like his focus on America. I like that. But I felt like he wasn't what you would expect from a president during the pandemic. I felt like that was his big failure.
I don't think I'm not going to go do coffee with him. I don't know him.
Right.
I'm not going to share a beer with him.
Nope.
But you know what? The facts show. The facts are real simple. The country's crap right now. The country wasn't crap early when he was running it.
Right.
I don't care who the men are. I don't care their affiliation.
If Trump wins in November, I don't think I think people are going to be more optimistic. Some will. People with Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to go out off the deep end, and they're just going to flail about and
some want him dead, literally. Some wish he was dead.
Yes.
I'm like,
and
I don't even think that about Biden.
Right. And the thing is if you think they're going to be miserable, but that their misery is created in their own head, right? Because if you really look back, I joke that people with Trump derangement syndrome have short-term memory loss. They can't think back 4 years. Literally 4 years ago, like everyone was like, "Oh my God, Trump got in," and all the Democrats, and I'm like, "Oh, guys, we'll be fine, we'll be fine." And then Biden gets in, right? And nobody talks about the Trump years. No one on the left talks about the Trump years. Like they weren't bad, they weren't terrible. Take the pandemic out of the picture, right? Because that's an anomaly that I think no president would deal with well. So you pull that out of the picture, and now you're like, we were fine. Things were okay. Now, are we living part of Biden's part of the problem of Biden's administration is that the pandemic happened. So if you remember, Jimmy Carter is sort of they're comparing the presidency of Biden with Carter's, right? Remember, I was talking about how the 70s and the 20s are similar.
Wasn't Carter after Reagan?
No, before.
Oh,
so if you look at Biden and Carter being compared, if you look at them, there's some bad luck there. Okay, I'm not a fan of Biden at all. Okay, and it's not him as much because I don't think he's really all there. It's his administration. I think his administration is terrible, absolutely terrible. So so if you look at Biden and Jimmy Carter, there's some bad things. Now, what happened bad to Jimmy Carter? Bad luck was the Iran hostages, right? That was bad luck. And so when Reagan came in, on the heels of Reagan coming in, they released the hostages. Now, we now know that there was some shenanigans going on. The Republicans pulled some bullshit so that Reagan could look like the big hero. So,
really? Shenanigans with the government? Really?
I know, right? With politicians? Ooh,
yeah.
But anyway, so we find out many years later when it's too late. So then so there's some bad luck that happened to Carter, and there's bad luck that's happened to Biden. But Biden, his policies are just horrifically bad. And so it didn't even matter.
Bad joke, sorry.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't even matter. It doesn't even matter that the pandemic happened. His policies are really pretty terrible anyway. So I think that the problem with people with the Trump derangement syndrome is that it's just an irrational either fear or hatred for Trump without really
fear. I've seen it in their eyes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand it. But yeah, that's the term and that's what it means.
That is so weird. Okay. So for example, no way, now I want to make this perfectly clear. No way is Trump perfect. Okay. But it sounds like you remember biblically the Pharisees and Jesus Christ, how they wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
How they were afraid of him and they wanted to kill him. It's the same thing all over again. That's what I always think of when I think of the fear the Democrats are showing. They literally are losing their junk.
Look, humans haven't changed in thousands of years, even more than that. So yeah, when people are afraid, they become irrational. That's what panic is. So it's a form of panic. The Trump derangement syndrome is a form of panic. And which doesn't make any sense because you've already been through it, right? You've been through 4 years. How'd you do? How would you do those 4 years? Were you, well, it was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible because of the pandemic. Take the pandemic out of the equation. How were you doing before the pandemic? How were you doing before March of 2019? How were you doing? Well, pretty much the way we were doing in Obama, right? When there's very rarely does someone come in and they're that much different. Democrat, Republican, there isn't these massive shifts that you normally see. You don't see these big differences between the parties. You just don't. Now there's a lot of talk there's a big difference in talk, but once they get in the office, it kind of evens itself out. Because think about it. So you might have all these ideas like Obama, like, he had all these ideas and talked about a big load of shit about change. But then when he got into office, he got busy helping run the country. And you can't be out there with all these grand ideas. You're too busy trying to keep the thing going, right? And running the day to day. So yeah, it's easy when you're sitting on the sidelines to have all these grandiose ideas. But when you get in there and you have the responsibility on your shoulders to actually do the thing, it changes. It's a completely different perspective. And they all kind of settle into the same place. Some, you might say it's like this, but it isn't like this, right? It's not like this. It might be like, there's still a difference between them, but the difference is greatly reduced. You got a job to do. You don't have time. Like you look at every president coming in, going out, they're all gray, right? I mean, it's a
it's
stressful
really
job.
crazy. Oh well, Biden was great going in, but anyway,
Sure.
but yeah, they get deranged. They get this crazy look. Oh no, not him. No, I mean they would literally rather have Mickey Mouse. I mean, and it's unexplainable.
It's irrational. It's just
Yeah,
irrational.
it's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing. I can't understand why. If I touch something, it's hot. I touch something that's cold. That's hot and that's cold. There is no other way. It's facts. Same with Trump. When he was in office, we were okay. When he's not in office, you got somebody who has really messed up the country. That's facts. We're almost broke. Our dollar's worth nothing. I mean, everything is different. So I don't understand why they're scared. I don't understand why they have this hatred in their heart. I don't know.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I have no idea.
And I always said if I saw a Democrat do a great job, I'd vote for them again for another 4 years. Why
Yeah.
not? Hey, the
Yeah.
country's doing great with this guy in. Keep him. Why
Here's
change
my thinking of politicians. They all suck equally.
all
I mean,
of
they
them?
don't. All of them suck. Well, this is what they're not equally. They all suck. They just don't suck equally. And what you want to try to do is find the ones that suck the least.
Right.
Now, the higher up you go, the more they suck
The
in the
lesser of
hierarchy.
two evils.
Right. So the higher up in the hierarchy, they suck more. Right. So if you look at people in government, the ones at the top are the ones that I trust the least. It's the ones as you filter down and you have your government workers. Those people, I've worked with people in government, and they're either one of two types. They either don't care at all. They're just there for the government, the government benefits, or they really do care. They really do care. Social workers and things like that. When you get down to the level of people who are their job is to help other people. These are the people that make our government great. But it's always at the smaller levels, right? It's always as you get down into the state and into the county levels of government, even city levels of government. You'll see government doing good things, right? Governments can do good things. They absolutely can. But there's just so much corruption. Your government is pretty much taken over by corporations at this point.
Yeah.
And the people who are in there are greedy. They go in,
Right.
mildly middle upper class to upper class, and they come out, multi-millionaires. So that's what they're there for. Look at you've seen it, you've probably seen it online where they go in worth this much and they come out worth this much. That's basically why people get into politics.
Wow.
To make a boatload of money.
Okay, so Trump deranged syndrome? Is that what it's
Derangement.
Trump
derangement syndrome. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope I'm not the other way around. I hope I'm not opposite because I don't want to be. I don't want to see anything bad happen to Biden. I don't think ill of him. I kind of feel bad for him. So,
yeah, I feel that Biden is being used, and maybe he's complicit, but how mentally,
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, I totally think
how mentally available is he? I mean, we have people in our, or I'm not going to mention any names, but people in our family who have dementia, and we wouldn't trust them to make certain decisions.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, sorry. Right. And we wouldn't trust them to make certain decisions
I
for
forgot.
themselves. Right. So you wouldn't make certain decisions. We wouldn't let that person make certain decisions for themselves, important decisions, because they may make bad decisions, and they will mostly make bad decisions. And now we have someone who's running the country who has dementia, and I know what that's like. And
it's not a fun thing. It isn't.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that have struggled with it.
Right.
Alzheimer's, dementia, anything.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, just let Joe Biden retire. Okay, go off and retire. And if you want to, there's plenty of people who want him to go to trial for supposed crimes. And that's
Right.
fine. You got evidence, take them to trial. You ain't got evidence, shut up. I don't want to hear it. Right. But the
Exactly.
guy should just
I'm with
go
you.
away. And the Democrats don't have anyone to put in front of us. Who are they going to put in front of us? Like, at least with the Republicans, if Trump went away tomorrow, okay, there's Republicans out there. There's people out there you could go. You got DeSantis, and you've got Vivek, which I really like Vivek.
Wait a minute.
You've got
Wait. Okay, sorry, I got excited. I just
what?
thought maybe you were gonna say he's the VP announcement.
No.
I would love that guy.
Like what yeah, I would too. But so you've got different people, right? You've got different people, and you look at them and you go, okay, well, these people could fill that position, right? And you go on the Democrat side, I'm like, you got nobody. Kamala Harris, are you kidding me? She's not even demented, and she or doesn't have dementia, and she can't even form a sentence. She can't. No. So she's a big fat no. And who else is left? They haven't groomed anybody. They got nobody in the wings. They've got nobody. So that's why they only got Joe.
Yeah.
They got Joe.
Well,
and
I
that's
think
it.
I think that it's gonna be Michelle Obama, but that's just my personal.
No.
I have nothing to back it up, but I want to go on record.
She didn't want to be in the. She had to be convinced by Obama to be in the White House when he was going for his second term.
But the man's Barack has been polling the supporters to see if they would support Michelle in a run.
He just wants to get his fingers in the pie again. That's
I know.
all. Like it isn't already.
I think his fingers never came out.
Right. Maybe not. But
okay, what is your opinion about what they're doing to Trump in court, tying him up?
Well, that's a no-brainer, dude.
It's just a game.
It's totally a game. That's all it is.
So basically,
but these are people with the syndrome, right? These are people with the syndrome, right? Like that Fannie Mae chick, right? She's got the syndrome for sure.
Bad.
Big time. So I mean,
and she stepped in it.
And here's the thing. There's that, and then there's the political rivals, right? So you have both. You've got both. And so, yeah, I mean,
I would not want to be Trump, period, for no money in the world.
No, but he's got all the money, and he's got, he's got the truth on his side, right? He's got literally the truth on his side, and the laws are on his side. I mean, I'm not too worried. He'll be fine.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. We'll sit back. We'll wait out the year and see how it turns out. Okay.
Do
you have before I let you go, now I know you like Vivek. Okay. It's
Vivek. It rhymes with K.
Vivek. Sorry.
Yeah.
Vivek.
No worries.
Get a normal name. So yeah, like Scalfani is normal. Anyway.
Yeah, like that name.
Who do you think's the VP? Who do you think?
It's a really good question. I know who I would pick.
I know,
but I don't think Trump is going to pick him. I don't think he'll be.
So you think he's going to pick a woman, huh?
No, I didn't say that. You think that? I don't.
Logically, Vivek would be the best choice because they're on the same wavelength. But strategically, a woman would be better.
Who?
Can't remember her name. Not Nikki.
Here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think conservative women will vote for someone just because she's a woman. However, I think left women on the left will.
That's why Michelle Obama is the key chess play.
Yeah. I think, I know who. Tulsi.
From where? Where's she from?
Tulsi Gabbard. She's from Hawaii.
Arizona, right?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Yeah. I think
she needs to go fight fires. But I picked
No, she's from Hawaii. She left the Democrat Party a couple of years ago. Okay. And she destroyed Kamala Harris on stage. And she's had a pretty good presence online. She stayed relevant. She's on Fox News a bunch, so a lot of people who are on the right know of her due to that. So if there's any woman, that would be the one. If you held a gun to my head, you have to hire a woman, right? DEI or whatever. I'd be like, her. She'd be the one. I really liked her.
I think there's a girl from Arizona that
I don't know.
might be a good choice. I can't remember her name, but anyway, we'll find out. When did they announce VBs? I thought they
I
already
don't know.
announced that.
I don't know. I have no
They're
idea.
waiting till December 1st.
Well, exactly. So Trump supposedly has a choice in his head, but he hasn't announced it. So I'm like, what does that mean? That means he's going to wait. Typical business, right, man? That's the way business works, right? You don't make a decision till the absolute last moment, because this way you can change your tack based
All
on
right.
information you're getting. So he's going to delay the VP announcement for as long as he has to. He doesn't need the VP. He's got enough momentum. He doesn't need to announce. He could just randomly pick someone and people would still vote for Trump at this point.
Yeah.
Biden's
His
that
name doesn't have to
bad.
be on the poll. They'll write it in.
Right.
All right. So let's I feel bad for I kind of feel bad for anybody with derangement on either side about politics.
Yeah. I mean, it does affect our lives, but not as much as people act like it affects our lives.
Right.
That's the thing.
I agree.
It doesn't, yeah. I'm like, you know what? Just your local politics are more important, actually. Like California, right? And all the BS in California. Like, I would leave this state so fast if I could. My wife wants to live here, so I'm stuck here. But local politics impacts me far more than
Hey,
than national
Tennessee's getting in
politics.
and out, dude. Not that you care, but
Getting what? And in and out. Yeah, I don't
Hey, you
care.
can come out here and be like California.
I can come out there and not eat in and out
Yes.
out there, just like I
Yes.
do here.
And
Wow.
we have farms with steaks, and you'll
That's
love
cool.
it.
All right, I'll be right there.
All right, man. So let's talk more next week, and
All right.
we'll have a new topic.
All right. Bye.
Take care.